All right. 3, 2, 1.
Welcome to the latest episode of the Loose Laces podcast. We on 132.
Okay.
Yeah, stop playing with me. Yeah, man. So this is your esteemed host, Sneaker Rashad.
I'm Davon. And we're joined by
Tyler, a.k.a. Arab Lincoln, a.k.a. the Phenomenon from Lebanon, a.k.a. the Lace Whisperer, a.k.a.
Oh, my God. He really is from New York. That man let off. He's about to get off a Bobito run.
I like how you turned off the mic because we were having like the most casual conversation. Mike came on, AKAs, the Lebanon's dream. I like that.
When the camera hits me, I turn into another motherfucker. It's just what I guess I'm doing now. I don't know.
Okay.
It's funny because when we pulled up, I'm just like, man, I've been reading about you. I understand your lore. So calm, so humble. My man got on that I Got Money shirt. And then he's just like, no, I'm ready.
I got this on discount, by the way. And my pants are from GU. So, that's cheap.
Now, discount could mean it went from 800 to 400.
It could, but it wasn't nearly.
Because I'm trying to think. What is that? Because I feel like I know the brand.
Needles.
I was saying it was a needle shirt. He got money. Ladies and gentlemen, he got money.
Little
shit.
Nah, I feel you. Because I be looking for needles. I be on Nubian?
Okay.
Nubian? Yeah. Oh, that's on sale and they got an XL? That's coming home with me.
You can catch some deals on them.
Can't relate. Anyway.
Get out of here.
What?
If you cared, you could.
If I cared. You're right.
If you know how to shop, it's easy. Like needles is.
But I'm chilling. I look like Kyrie when he played with the Nets right now. Like I look crazy
That's
right now.
That's a sore subject for me.
I'm sorry. Sorry, my guy.
And at the time, I thought they were, going to be our Lord and Saviors, but didn't really go to plan, unfortunately.
Oh, let's see. Davon don't like basketball talk.
Hey.
It's not that. I just love every time people bring up sports, it's either we up or this was the worst shit of my life.
I'm assuming you didn't watch the game last night. You probably did.
Oh, of course. Yeah. Of course.
No, it was a bit of a blowout, which...
A bit? That might have been the worst blowout. Like...
Yeah.
So the Halliburton is still good.
Yeah,
That's the only thing I care about.
Yeah. They must have played that one clip of him stealing it and then...
The no look. Yeah. No look to Pascal Siakam.
Oh, yeah. He was a possessed man last night.
That man said...
somebody...
Yeah.
That's the one thing I love about sports. When I go on Twitter, it's a group of people, fuck yeah, gifts, and people like, yo, if I killed myself, you'd understand. The Knicks disappointed me again. Shout out to Knicks Twitter. Because I told y'all what I wanted. I didn't get what I wanted because I wanted y'all to go to Game 7.
It was very close.
You got it pretty close to what you were hoping for.
I wanted them to go to the finals and watch New York burn.
Dog, if the Knicks made it to the finals, they would have lost already.
Yeah.
They would have got sent home.
And,
it would have went to New York just to record niggas.
No, if it was New York versus OKC, OKC would have won in 4 or 5. It would have been bad.
I don't care.
Anyways, man.
I won't debate that because you're probably right.
Bro. Anyways,
shout out Sports Talk.
We are in DC. We took a trip. Sure. So you're the first guest that we've had live in person.
Round of applause.
So this is a landmark episode already. And we are definitely glad to have you.
No, I'm glad to be here. I was on Twitter not that long ago and, just straight up love what you guys do and love the just like the authenticity of it, man. And so I was just feeling away and wanted to say, it's the only podcast I want to do. I still feel that way, and glad that we're able to make it happen. Because I honestly thought at first it would just be something that we would like record over like a Zoom or FaceTime or whatever.
Yeah.
And I thought about. I was like, oh well, I'm going to DC, and I'm pretty sure you guys are like in the DMV area, so I hit up Davon, and it was.
Serendipity.
Yeah, it just worked out that way. So
no, that was perfect. I appreciate it because when you said you listened to us, I'm just like, why? It's sad. That's my first thought. Anybody like, I listen to your show.
We don't know people who listen to us until they tell us. Like we really don't. Like we gonna keep on rocking. we was rocking like this when there was 1 or 2 people listening, and we gonna rock no matter what.
Fuck that.
It goes back to 2.
Yeah,
you know?
no, I mean, look, there are people that I would have had no idea that knew about me, even like up until like just recently. Swiss Beats hit me up and it's just like, big fan of your work, and I was like, really? Like, I didn't know that you knew I existed, let alone you were a fan of my work. So got the opportunity to not even shoot footwear, but just like some clothing, which is, you know, something I can do. I think people, they're like, oh, he's just the sneaker photographer guy. And like, I understand, you know, I own that, but, you know, I'm capable of shooting other things, believe it or not. And yeah, so shot some stuff for him, and yeah, it's very interesting to know how many like admirers you may or may not have. But I think the important thing is to not even worry about that, and just to focus on, you know, what you love, and eventually, you know, great things will start, you know, coming along with that. But
I think more people should understand that, because there have been a lot of conversations about creativity, authenticity, and building and all this stuff. And it's like, that's cool, but you can't build something unless you care enough to do it.
yeah, no, it's, you know, it's tough because like I remember at an early point of my career where I thought, okay, I need to get validated by, you know, this person, that person, or whomever. And then slowly you start to maybe get some of that, you know, validation, and you realize quickly that doesn't mean shit. It doesn't, like, and I don't say that coming from like any kind of like privilege or anything. I really just keep a very balanced mind about what I'm doing, and honestly, the most rewarding feeling I've ever gotten was when I try to do this all the time, which is just impress myself. You know, that, and then anything else that comes after that, that's a perk. And then, you know, yeah, I don't know where else I'm going to go with that one, but
So-
that's how I feel.
Well, I don't want to, because you've done interviews before. So if anybody wants to listen to those interviews, then go back and listen to those. I don't want to get into the same thing. No shade.
What was the first pitch you ever took?
Yeah, no. So just like you said, you know, Swizz called you to shoot some stuff that wasn't sneakers. So what else is in, you know, your portfolio outside of sneakers? Would you say?
I've shot some stuff with some close friends that I used to work with. There was this young woman named Alani who goes by Was Good on Instagram, and we did some stuff with Prada, so that was cool. You know, I've shot a lot of like crazy things that I never even thought somebody would need the photography. I remember I did like the realtor photography for like the old Kith space when they were looking to sell the lease or whatever. Like we were renting it or something, or like not we, 'cause I don't got that kind of money. That shit is next level expensive. But yeah, so they were basically done with like the lease and renting it. So I guess they needed photography, and they're like, "Oh, you've got a camera?" And I was like, "Yeah,
Figure it out.
yeah." So I did some of that, and yeah, a lot of odd things. You know, we don't have to talk about the old stories, of course, but you know, one of the funniest things I remember is when I did a couple's photo shoot for a friend of mine, and that ended up in a roundabout way. And again, if you care to like know that story, you can go listen to like the old podcast. But that ended up in a roundabout way, leading me to my my job at Kith. So yeah,
That's
couple's
fine.
photos with the dog to taking the photos of footwear. And all
But I mean,
stuff.
that's the
Yeah.
best way to go about with life, because I know for me, sneakers were the core. Like my first love was video games. Then I got into sneakers because I wanted sex. And I was like, I was a dirty kid.
Yeah.
Girls liked me even though I was dirty. Then I started taking a shower, and then I was like, I can't let these bums outdress me. Boom, 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 boom. I got into my sneakers. And a pair, like, sneakers introduced me to streetwear. and a hoodie, a Mac Daddy hoodie from the Lupe Fiasco. I got that video. I traded it to my man's JD for a pair of Porsche glasses, and it's like, oh, this is new. So now I got 2 addictions.
Nice.
And
Were
then
they Carreras?
Yes,
Nice.
Porsche 5621s.
Yeah.
Oh, I love those.
Yeah.
And funny enough, because the form I grew up on was sneaker play.
Okay.
I'm flexing my glasses. I'm going back and forth with this French Canadian dude, and he's like, "Oh man, my friend, he would love you." And he introduced me to my friend Corey Shapiro, and that really got the ball rolling for me in sunglasses. And it's like I've always found it interesting that one thing can lead into another.
Yeah.
You know, hey, I'm out with my friend. I take a picture of his dog. You want to come work for me?
Yeah.
And I think that's the craziest part. Like, I hate how we pigeonhole ourselves to, because like you said, people see you as the sneaker guy.
Yeah.
You know, a camera works on so many other things.
Yeah.
And outside of me being a photographer, I'm a human being. And I think I always try to avoid that. Like, if we have someone on the show, because it's like, you know, I do more than just take pictures of shoes. I'm Tyler. So I just think that's crazy. But I do have to ask you a stupid question.
Let's get stupid.
Did you invent the kill filter?
I was like, where is he going with this? That's a good one.
You know, that's
Holy shit.
That's a tough one. I will say that I was very instrumental in creating what is known as the Kith filter. But the thing about the Kith filter is that it really is more so just like the equivalent of color grading, like in video.
Right.
So when you see something, IRL, and you're capturing it on video, camera, whatever it is, a lot of times it's not going to be the exact thing that you're seeing, right?
Mm-hmm.
So Kith filter was basically just that, where it's like I'm trying to, and then, sometimes like anything, you might have held on to, you might have slid the slider a little bit too much because
so sexier,
because it looks good, and it's like you'd be kidding yourself if you didn't think that there weren't other, people in the space, whether it's sneakers or modeling or whatever, that aren't doing something pretty similar, So,
I'm not gonna lie. When I do editing, I have to catch myself because that dehaze bar and then that temperature and saturation bar, I get a little loose with it, and it's like, no, somebody gonna do a chargeback, but ooh, that gold look good.
Yeah, you gotta be careful. There is sort of a fine line there where you're not even selling a product, you're selling a dream.
Shame on both y'all.
Yeah, I mean,
ladies and gentlemen, we got them. We got ourselves because.
Yeah. No, you got you. You over here giving shade BBLs. And you, you, sir, you, a lot of niggas bought sneakers who was like, yeah.
But
look, it's also, and
I get it.
I don't say this as just like a way to like smoke bomb and get out of the conversation because I'll own whatever it is. Like that's not it. But for me, when I look at footwear, I'm like 99% of the time, especially if it's a shoe that I love.
You know what you want it to look like.
And that's just like, I actually think it does look like that in my twisted mind. I'm like, this is how I get it, like envisioning it.
But I feel like that's how we are, especially now since most reveals and everything, you don't see a shoe in person for the first time. Yeah. You see it online. Yeah. So the way you saw it the first time is how you get it. Because not just with Kith, I've learned with everything. Satoru, goddamn it, I'm trying to be smart. Magazine shoots, it's supposed to be put in the best possible light. Yeah. You're trying to cover all blemishes. It's a little sexy. Yeah. Versus when you get in that hard white light of a product shot, then it's like, okay, this is what it actually looks like.
There's the more like the lifestyle approach to things, and then you click on over, and then you get something that's a little bit more, representative of what to expect. But even still, you know, I can't tell you how many hours I've probably spent like just getting rid of like glue stains and loose threads, and you know, it's like it's a dream. You know? You're selling a dream, and at the end of the day, who the fuck is really looking at the shoe other than me and maybe a couple other people that closely that you're going to even notice that anyway?
The people who like to complain.
Well, you know, they're always going to be there.
Yeah, I mean, that actually leads into a question that I had.
Yeah.
It's like, with you being a person that breaks shoes, because you did it with the Adidas X.
So actually, that is called. I guess there was some kind of miscommunication on like the card that they gave out. It's not the X, the Mega X. It's the AG Mega Ride or something along those lines.
Okay, because I saw the other name, and I'm just like, someone's lying.
Yeah.
But I don't have the shoe, so I don't care.
Well, what's even crazier is on the sample tag it said like Mega Storm. So like, I don't know if that was the colorway or like I don't know. That was like that ran the complete like.
Is it Travis Scott T-Rex Jumpman Jack type situation?
Yeah, where there's just the ongoing, like, you know, it's going to change the name as we see it.
I mean, it's 1 of 60, so until getting people handed don't matter.
True.
But
True.
with you breaking things, how does it feel with a community reaction? Like, do you take it personally when people are like, yo, that shit trash, look at his pictures?
Yeah, I mean, that is interesting because sometimes when I do get something like early or have like an exclusive like look on it, you almost take pride and like feel kind of attached to it in a weird way. So if somebody doesn't like the product, I almost take it personal in a way, even though I didn't have shit to do with the design. It's like, but I think that also is just what kind of drives me and has made me, you know, successful in a way. It's like I shoot things as if they were my shoe, you know?
Right.
So, to your point, yeah, like sometimes I'm like, you just don't fucking get it. Like, this, you'll understand. You're just mad because you couldn't get them, like, or like whatever, you know, like. But I know that like it's totally normal and healthy for, you know, somebody to not, because like if everyone's like, oh yeah, like these are the greatest things ever, like if everyone's saying that, then somebody's lying. There's
Most
not
people
one
lie.
thing out there. Well, I could think of maybe one that people are unanimously across the board like, yeah, this is.
I
the
think I
best
can.
thing.
If it's something that exists, I probably hate it.
Yeah,
I'm that one guy.
yeah. There's always some. Yeah. But,
So has a company come to you and said, "Hey man, we need you to catfish.
yeah.
We need you to sell these, man, because
I wouldn't say
we thought we had a hit." His
yeah.
ass.
No, there's definitely been, you know, communication that isn't like maybe that blunt, but maybe avoid shooting this side of it, or you know, or
Jazz it up.
maybe prep it in a way that it kind of looks a little different, you know, things like that. But no one, not that I can recall is, but there is a lot of times where brands will be like, oh, and this is kind of like what you're saying in a roundabout way. It's like, oh, we need to give these a push, you know?
Yeah.
Push that filter
when
up.
You see the marketing dollars like start to go up, and I'm like, shit. Oh, let's get more pushes then. 'Cause, you know, I don't need anything that's a layup.
But you know what? I mean, that makes sense with how some stuff goes. I appreciate what you did with the Mega X's. That's what I'm going to call it.
Yeah,
because that shoe, seeing it in person now, I'm about to do a little glazing for Adidas. Seeing it on foot, and I didn't know it was 3M.
Yeah.
When I saw the 3M hits in the hotel, I was about to say, like, yo, can I get a picture real quick? That hits. And I think it's just so funny that we're all so conditioned to see it. And I appreciate that they managed to get it out first with a professional versus the factory shots. Because
I mean, yeah, like sometimes I know that there's a designer somewhere in the world, whenever a shot like that first surfaces, before it can be treated with like the proper respect, and that designer is just like, you could just hear their heart breaking just a little bit, because, you know, yeah, sure, leaks are, I guess, part of like the, you know, the world we're in, but I really don't give a shit what anyone says. I think that is like some of like the most disrespectful thing that you could do. Yeah,
It's
like,
the worst. I'm sorry, we were about to say something.
No, did the designer for those? Is it public yet?
I don't know. I'm not even sure who the...
Because it looks like, you know what they remind me of? When Tim Duncan and Kevin Garnett were on Adidas, like early 2000s, they have that same soul.
Okay.
Like very similar style. I'm gonna put the reference picture up.
Yeah,
but
I gotta see that one.
Yeah, I have no idea what you're talking about.
yeah, the sole is like old tech, but the upper.
Yeah, well, this is like part of the Mega Ride family or whatever they. Yeah, so I don't know. Did Duncan have
Yeah, when Duncan,
Ride technology?
I'm just not
a
sure if it
different
was
name.
called Mega Ride.
Okay.
I feel like it was called like Bounce or something, but
Okay.
Pause.
I'll put the reference picture up. I hate you, my guy. I hate you so much.
Sorry. No, but I like what Adidas is doing with it. And I mentioned the factory leaks because I hate what that's become.
Yeah.
Because as a designer myself, when I get factory pictures of the stuff I've made, and it's just like, I can never let this be seen. This looks like shit.
Yeah.
And then I freak out until it shows up. And it's just, I wish more people would put respect on photographers, because once I started doing product shots and designing, I think it's so crazy how people interact with you and a few other designers. I mean, not even designers, but photographers, artists, because I'm big on respecting art.
Yeah.
I may not like a photographer, but if you're making something so visually appealing, I appreciate the hell out of you for it, because y'all got to understand, photography is hard.
It takes time, you know, and like for me, I'm still learning, you know, and I'm still trying to figure out lighting and editing and everything, like all encompassing. Like to me, you know, I've been called whatever, you know, maybe some bad things too, but some pretty good things. And, you know, I always take it with a grain of salt. Like, I appreciate it, but I never really think to myself, at least for too long, that, oh, I'm the best ever. Because to me, once I do that, I've like just completely started resting in like my laurels, or, you know.
Well, shit, do you think you're the best ever to do something?
No.
I respect it.
No, I think that, you know, I've had moments of, for sure, that would speak to that, but I've had so many moments where I'm even like, damn, I have so much that I need to I need to get on my shit. Like what am I doing? You know? So, but now I've had a lot more time to be a little bit more intentional and mindful of how I'm creating some of my images, and there's a lot of things that I do that are there for like a reason, and like how I edited, how I shot a certain angle, like some things, you know, just for like the sake of the game, where it's like if you're not the first person to post something, then it basically the drop off is like insane. So like you gotta play the game a little bit, but I try to kind of create from like the mindset that I'm not playing anyone's game other than mine, which is do the very best you can.
You made my ears perk up, because I don't know how you feel. So, but I mean, that's why I'm glad you're here.
Yeah.
That whole first shit, I get it, because I've had arguments with people. It's like, if you're not first, you're kind of last if you don't get out there. But at the same time, you still got to get your shit off. Yeah. And the whole Ferrari 14 situation, I started to reach out to you because I'm like, yo, do you see? But I'm like, I don't know what this man on. I don't want to bring nothing to him. He could be eating breakfast and like, I don't got time for this shit.
You know, I appreciated that because I see a lot. There's so much that I kind of just have to train my mind to like turn it off at times, because if I don't, like, I obsess over it, and then I'm not gonna be able to do what I need to do, because then I'm just wasting so many valuable minutes. And at this point in age, there's just so many things, even like outside of like the world of photography, that I need to, really get better at. And so, yeah, I mean, look, the thing about that is it's called a fucking Ferrari 14 for a reason.
That's the name of this episode.
Stamp it with that. And I don't understand. Like, whose right mind would not have thought to put that, like, on a Ferrari if they had the opportunity?
Right.
So, I'll give you a little background on it. A friend that I work with, he has a friend who owns a lot of great cars, and one of which was a nice red Ferrari. So I said, do you think he'll let us borrow it for, like, a few hours, if that's possible? I'd love to shoot that on the Ferrari. It just seems to make sense. He's like, yeah, for sure. So at that point, we're talking about, like, I think the guy said he spent in cash like $350,000 on it.
Nope.
So you got to, like, start planning that out. You can't just, like, pull up and then, like, well, what are we doing?
I'm wearing a glove. I'm wearing gloves, hazmat suit. I ain't scratching.
I asked the guy when I got there, like, are you sure it's okay that I put the shoe on? Like, I want to be very transparent with like what I intend on doing here, because I can't afford this if something goes wrong, So, but he was very chill. He's like, yeah, no, it's just a car, man. Like, I'm gonna take it on the track anyway, and like, I'd probably, hit something or whatever. So don't worry. I was like, God damn, that's different,
You got fuck you money.
We go back to where I'm like, God, I need to do so much better. Like, that's a conversation. I'm like, damn, I need to do better. It's like, I can't just say that. Whatever. So anyway, yeah. So we had started planning that out pretty far in advance, and then I saw like a couple of people shot the shoes on a Ferrari, and I was like, sucks. I would have loved to have been first to do it, but again, nowhere in my mind did I think that wasn't a possibility. It's like, it seems pretty,
spot on.
Yeah, like what?
Yeah.
So
I was telling him, when it comes to certain shoes, like, I could see if certain shoes, you like, somebody's doing what's my guy's name that was doing the KD rollout, KD 18.
Oh,
I'm so upset I forgot his name.
Are you talking about the ones with the bacons?
Yeah.
Ah, shit, I forgot.
Mr. some instructive vision.
No.
I know you're talking about.
I'm upset because, like, his work is dope too.
Okay.
But I'm a fan of, like, the majority of y'all. Right. So it ain't no slight to him, but he, like, say if he got those and he takes a shot of the DMV or Seat Pleasant inspired one at a location in Seat Pleasant, like, if he did the research for that, that's different versus a Ferrari 14. Yeah, it's almost like if like a cooking show. Everyone has duck, rosemary, basil, peaches. Okay, make a meal, and who makes the best one? That's what I kind of look at it like. Like,
and
it's a layup.
And for me,
Ric Flair.
Yeah, Ric Flair 79.
Yeah, Ric Flair 79. Okay. Sorry for interrupting you.
I'm familiar with him. But yeah, and shout out to him. He's a cool guy. We've spoken a couple of times.
Okay.
But yeah, with that Ferrari 14 shoot, I was not gonna not take the opportunity to shoot on a $350,000 car. That's just so cool. And to me, I was like, well, I'm gonna try to do some lace play with it. You know, I'm gonna try to shoot it in a way that for me is
speaks to your design language.
Yeah, and for me, like one of the things that, just speaking about like car photography in general, like a lot of like reflections that show up if you don't know like what you're doing can like really make the picture not look as because it's just so busy, and you just start seeing like, you could see like a person on set that is like there just by accident, that's just on their phone texting, and they didn't even realize, and neither did the photographer, because it's like so like such small detail, but it's like makes it dramatically different.
Pardon the background noise.
Fucking DC.
I'm literally gonna fight the hotel for putting me behind the fucking train. But,
it's all good, man.
Yeah, so, you know, and like, look, I won't dance around it. Like, I obviously know that Jared was, you know.
Yeah, shout out Jared. That's the homie.
And like the thing that was kind of like upsetting about it is I'm actually a fan of some of the stuff I've seen that has like popped up. Like, I don't follow him, but you know, like the algorithm has a way of like pushing stuff, you know, that you might like, and some of the stuff I've seen I actually do like. But yeah, that was kind of frustrating that there seemed to be this consensus that, you know, I was
the
trying
copycat
to, like, copy someone's work. And I don't know. Like, I think that, again, and I'll leave it here, its nickname is pretty...
The fucking Ferrari. Yeah. I think the thing that angered me the most about it is you try to put two creatives against each other.
Yeah.
Because it's like, Nice Kicks posted, tagged, and I'm like, we should be celebrating that it isn't a blog stealing a post and then tagging you underneath.
Yeah.
The fact that they tagged you, I'm like, okay, kudos to Nice Kicks. That's dope.
Yeah, and you know what? You're so right about that, because there are there are a lot of accounts that do like shit that like I see it, and I'm just like, and I've pressed a couple of those accounts too. Like, well, what's going on? Like, why are you being very secretive of like who these photos were taken by? Like,
you didn't pay for it,
and they were one person. I won't even mention the name, but they were just like, oh well, you know, apparently, you know, due to our like research, whenever we put someone's name in the body of like whatever copy they're writing for the, you know, the tweet or whatever it is, we see a dip in the engagement, so we just choose to. I said, get the fuck out of here! Like, you really think that I'm gonna buy that? Like, me, I've been in this for quite some time. You, like, I wasn't born yesterday. Come on, if you just want to say that, like, you know, I just don't value you, and like, I don't give a shit about like creatives or whatever, then say that. I respect that a little bit more.
The thing,
sell me some dumb shit.
The crazy part to me is relationship building. If I build a relationship with him, maybe he'll be like, yo, I want you to break the story for me.
Yeah. I
can get an exclusive off. But when you steal from people and you don't show them that you value them, because I know most people think art should be free. No, motherfucker, this costs a lot of money. Glass, frames, all that shit is expensive.
So many people, just do it for the love. Like,
fuck you.
Oh, I did. I loved a long time, and then I realized I'm gonna be a broke fuck if I don't start
doing this
something with at least a little bit of kind of business acumen. Like, what are you doing?
We doing this podcast for the love.
Hey, yeah, but it will eventually. You know what I mean? Like, you.
It's gonna get our ass whooped.
It's gonna get my ass whooped.
But no, I get it. I just hate how people try to treat these things like this. But more so than anything, people. It's like, this isn't a condemnation of Twitter as a whole or people. I just don't like that we have this notion of armchair people who sit up here and talk about stuff. Like, I always appreciated Pros versus Joes. Oh, this nigga's a bum. Fuck him. All right, cool. Play the worst player in the NBA. Oh shit, my ankles are broken.
Yeah,
it's a whole different beast. I implore the people who want to sit up here and talk crazy about a photographer. Like, you think you take your iPhone, you take a picture. This is nice. This would not meet the brief. It is so much. Even doing product shots in my little light box. Oh my God. If there's a reflective lens and you just see me, fuck. I just wasted 20 minutes. I have to edit this out, but not fuck up the lens. So I'm in it. It's so much that goes into this, and it costs time. Time is worth so much more. Yeah. And for you to sit up here with your shit pictures to, Jared, Herb, he copied you. You're trying to create conflict between two dope ass artists, and all I can think to myself is they do not care. As long as people are being paid, if you get paid more, he potentially gets paid more, and vice versa. This is a tide that rises all boats. You trying to create division over a fucking Ferrari 14 is insane to me. Like, if fives came back out, or the Warhawk Air Max 90s. If somebody got access to a fighter jet, that's fucking insane. Yeah. And then you copy it 3, 4, 5 months later with the same fighter jet and everything. All right, it's a little crazy. But as a whole, everybody's first thought, Ferrari 14s. Yo, who got a Ferrari? Is it red? Okay, yeah. It's so weird, just especially how people say we need to support creatives. We need to go ahead and help people. The division that people put in there is great. Like, dog, I want to see you win. I want to see artists paid. I want to see artists tagged. Because for anyone who's ever worked with me, I don't ask for a discount. What's your price? If I can afford it, I can afford it. If I can't, I can't. We should be fighting for everyone to be paid, because you sitting up here causing these beefs. I don't want a brand to be like, yo, you divisive. Yeah. You crazy. And again, shout out Nice Kicks for tagging people. We need more people. I should not see photographers saying thank you for tagging me. Yeah. It should be the fucking
that's
norm.
Nuts.
That is so true. I had like a little bit of a background in broadcast and like journalism, all that, and like that was like one of the first lessons is like 101. It's like attribution, like giving people like proper credit. And to me, for some apparent reason, it does seem like we should be so grateful. Like it just should be the standard.
I mean, because nobody's rewarded for attribution, and these blogs lie. These leaker pages lie. There are so many lies going on, and people just accept it because they want to see new things. And it's just like, one of the worst things that's happening to us is we're not getting the full picture. Mm-hmm. I don't know if those mega XLs are going to come out, but to see it in a light where I can have an accurate judgment, like, okay, this is the color, this is how it is, I might not ever see the shoe in person. I would much rather that than seeing a shoe that's just come off the fucking assembly line with missing stitches. Yo, this is what this Ford looks like.
It's not even on the tooling of the shoe. It's just like the upper.
Yeah, this shape is fucked up.
Yeah.
I just wish more people understood that, you talk about the stories, the creativity. You got to think about the people who go into this, because you are doing a great service. People talk about art and how, no, you don't understand. Design, photography, art, every little detail matters. Yeah. One misplaced color on a box could make it disgusting. One poorly timed picture could take the greatest shoe ever to like, ugh.
And a lot of people don't come back from that with like those like shoes. Like, I think Union was like probably one of the rare instances where we saw those really terrible photos of that first black one, and Jordan 4, and myself included was like, what the fuck is that?
Mm-hmm.
But then they were able to somehow magically come back from that. But that's not the case with a lot of people.
I mean, first impressions do a lot, because I hated the Union ones, especially when they did the swap meet video. I was like, what scenario was someone Frankenstein a fucking one? You're an idiot. Yeah. And then they dropped. I'm like, hold up. Right. Or when I camped out for Yeezy ones, pictures, them shits is trash. Yeah. Then I saw him, I was like, Kanye, I'm so sorry. Different. I'm glad you could speak on that, because I feel like, you got a life. You create stuff. You're not going to sit up here with the rest of us fighting, arguing we peaceful now. We don't do that as much. But fighting with people about that, and I'm not gonna sit up here and be sensitive. Think about the artist, but it's like, think about what the fuck you saying right now. Because what if you took offense? You like, you know what, fuck Jared.
Yeah. Nah, it's not that. It's just like, you know, I think sometimes people they get a little too attached to, like, you know, something, and they want to try to get like the tweet off or whatever it is, and you know.
Do you have anything to say to people that tried to pit Jared against you?
Touch grass, maybe. Like, just think about it from really the perspective of what Davon is saying. That, like, you know, trying to pit like two creatives like against each other is ridiculous. Like, it's, you know, just stop. Like, we don't need that. You know, it's not gonna help the big picture. And if anything, you can then kind of just infiltrate and create like unnecessary tension for no reason.
I don't know. Photography beef might be funny.
It's funny in some ways, but there are points where I'm just like, I gotta.
Could you imagine pulling up on somebody, just bust them in the head for Nikon real quick?
No, they're too expensive.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm scrapping
last
this one.
time,
that I would do that.
but last time there was photographer beef. People was arguing over poses. Niggas on their toes standing in puddles. And I was like, bro, please tell me y'all niggas is not really arguing about this shit.
Oh my god.
I mean, but speaking of photographer beef, like, I feel like there's a lot of tension with, before anyone attacks me, I ain't shitting on anyone. AD sneaks. Because I feel like a lot of people feel awkward about his place in the game.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people have compared your styles. I'll just put it out there. I find him odd because I don't like ultra positive people.
Yeah.
I'm a negative person.
Yeah.
And I just think it's crazy that there is that kind of division, but it's natural. And it's like, just, you know, since we're talking about the copycat type thing, how do you feel about someone who it feels like they took your style and tried to run with it?
I mean, that it's not even, to me, it's not even a question whether or not he did. Like, he did, and it's cool. Like, I'm on some other like new shit now to where that's old now for me.
Right.
And have it, like, do whatever you can with it, enjoy it while it lasts. It will end at some point, I'm sure, because nothing is forever. But anybody that like actually knows, that's educated, knows where it came from. Like, and unfortunately that's not the masses. So yeah, there's going to be probably more misinformed people on the topic, and you know, it is what it is. Like, that's not who I'm interested in anyway.
Right.
You know, I'm really more so trying to gain the attention of people that actually do this and appreciate and really respect art. So it's probably why we're, you know, talking, because y'all do. So, and it's funny. Like, I remember Complex recently posted something about, I guess he's like a teacher or something, and he perfected the sneakers shop, something like that. And without me saying one word to anybody, because I was just like, I could probably cause like a, you know, an uproar if I wanted, but I'm just gonna let it be, because like at this point, Complex is what it is, and it's not worth my time. But there were a lot of people that were mentioning me, like, within the post, saying like, yeah, what are you talking about? Like, this is, or like, you know, some people were like funny about it, and they're like, I thought this was, you know, like A.R. Lincoln or whatever, which I actually kind of took slightly offense to be honest.
Yeah.
I can tell the difference. I know And like, I'm not going to try to like sit here and cut down his work, because that's going to just make me a hypocrite of what you and I were talking about with Jared. But it's a different situation.
You know your sauce. I say you know your sauce.
Yeah. And like, if it can fool some people, then kudos. But yeah, I mean, it's frustrating at times, but I just hope he's getting paid, something for what he's doing, because it's a lot of time to spend emulating somebody else, and I at least get like something from it.
Aye.
Like I just, that's what I hope at the end of the day, because I know brands can be a little predatory sometimes when they see somebody that is, has a skill set, and take advantage, and won't pay them, but like sell them on a dream of like, oh, you're getting these shoes and this and that. And like, a photographer friend of mine reached out to me, and I feel comfortable talking about it because it's the truth, which is he was doing work for a brand, and that brand dropped him and went with someone else. And when he asked what's up with that, like, this person is basically copying like what I do, or this, that, and third. Well, this person's not even cheaper, free.
Yep.
And this is like not a small brand, by the way. This is like a brand that has money. So it's like, I am trying to really fight for not just myself, but like other creatives, to where, look, if you can make some money off of this, that's very, like, that's fortunate, and it's blessed, because I know how the landscape can be. And it's tough out there, man. It really is. And yeah, I wish everyone the best, and to be able to be successful in like whatever they're doing. It's just like a scary time in the world, but I'm not gonna take it into.
Nah, that was a very mature take, and I'm glad you said that, because I just sit here and think to myself, like, I make fun of the timeline all the time, because I said to a friend recently, ask not what the brand can do for you, ask what you can do for the brand.
Yeah.
And I hate the way that, and this isn't just sneaker Twitter, it's just in general, people treat brands, whether it be an artist, clothing, shoes, and they're like, I have to protect the brand, I have to protect the person. Motherfucker, get paid first. I'm willing to walk away from an opportunity because I'm 35. I got a 7-year-old. I can't pay him in exposure. I need, you got to get paid.
And so, that's another thing too, is like the seated sneaker thing. And like, look, I'm coming from somebody who used to basically do what I do now. This is coming from like years of experience. Again, this is not a privileged thing. I used to want free sneakers, and that was like kind of why I picked up a camera. Like, honestly, like and then I thought to myself, man, life will be great. It's not great. It's good. It's like awesome that you can get some free shoes off of your work. I think that's amazing. Still happens for me too, but it's not everything. You need to keep that in perspective, because again, if you just have that tunnel vision of a mindset, what's going to end up happening is any opportunity that you could have gotten by, whatever you're doing, and getting paid for it, it's slowly but surely going to slip away. Because why would I, as a brand, pay somebody to, you know what I mean? Like, and it's sad because like, that's just business, like that really is just the business to it. So, when it comes to like morals and ethics and like, it's not like you're going to find a lot of that. But again, that's just something that it's funny because growing up, I didn't necessarily really understand that, and I would have my dad like tell me these things and kind of try to give me like, you know, like some kind of free game and like warn me. I was like, man, this old motherfucker don't know what I'm talking about. Like but it's funny, like the older I get now, I'm like, damn, he really was on some visionary shit. He really knew what he was talking about.
Yo, shout out Good Dads.
Yeah. But yeah, so anyway, you know, I'm sure somebody will.
Let me check to see if the cameras is working.
Go ahead, because the cameras hate us. But I'm like, I keep saying I'm glad you said that. Man, put his ass in my face. Happy Pride Month. But no, shout out to Chick-fil-A too.
Oh,
I convinced them that we were together. But why are you being like that? Yo, it's June. Stop.
You good? No,
I'm good. We good.
Okay.
We together.
Move, slide.
Okay. But I keep saying I'm glad you said that because I feel like not enough people are hearing it from people in the industry. It's not worth it. And I'm not even one of those people. We've been seeded a bit.
Yeah.
And it's cool. I'm not going to sit up here and act like it's not cool as shit to open a package and it's like, I ain't pay for this shit.
Yeah, no, I love it. I've got way too many shoes and I still love it.
Yeah. I just think it's dishonest to sit up here and work yourself to the bone for small gains. I think to myself often how amazing it is that as a small creator, I've been able to get my voice out there. Mm-hmm. And have we gotten paid from Loose Laces? No, we have not. But we don't do it for the payment. We do it for fun. And if someone comes to us and they want us to work on a campaign, you won't have to give me some money. Because just doing it for free or hoping that you'll get a shoe, and it's just because I talked about it last week when the whole seeding conversation was going on. If you're hoping to get some sort of payment, especially out of free shoes, and you over the age of 21, grow the fuck up.
I'll take Legos.
This nigga work for Legos. But
I'm just saying.
I hate that it's become so commercialized. Yeah. I don't post about shoes and glasses and stuff because I'm hoping that Nike sees me one day and is like, that's a good noodle. I'm pretty sure most brands see me and it's like, fuck this guy. He loves this and then he called me like dumb. I want more honesty. I miss the form days because before the show we were talking about it. We old, you know, you on ISS, you Nike talk. I got banned instantly, but watching those old conversations because when they announced that the undefeated fours were coming back, I actually went back to what was it, 08?
Something like that,
to see the reaction, and no one on Nike Talk liked it. Really? They were like, what the fuck? The four supposed to be OG colors. What is this shit? Yeah. And it's just so funny watching now. People like, oh, yes, I've always loved that shoe. That shoe was fantastic and the community loved it. No, I remember distinctly when Undefeated... when Undefeated announced that, oh, it's 72 pairs, okay? And it's all auction. Yep. What? No, this is awful. People were furious. Yep. The same thing, and it's just like...
I did want that t-shirt, though.
I wanted everything. Yeah. I remember watching that site, and once it went past $1,000, I was like, I will never own
I knew
this.
The sneakers were, I was like, out of reach, but I was like, maybe if I get the shirt, you know.
No.
But I just miss when people were bare bones honest and not afraid that a brand is going to show up and be like, we were going to give you something. Like, just be honest. You know, if I thought, because I told him, it was like, when you post those pictures, I'm like, I don't know about them Adidas. Mm-hmm. They ugly. Like Sock said, they got British teeth. And I'm like, you know what? These kind of ugly. Oh, man. And then you stunning on me. I'm like, okay, no, you know what? Shut up, Sock. These kind of hard.
Yeah. Nah, I think that, look, I can't sit here and say that, like, I still don't like getting free sneakers because anytime it happens, I'm like, yes, like the kid in me comes out. But I do realize that that's not all there is. You know, like there is so much more opportunity outside of just being given something free. Actually, getting paid to do it. And that's the dream, right?
Right.
Be able to do what you love and create and get paid for it. I mean, that to me will always remain such like the most valuable, important thing for me to keep in mind. Because when you do something for as long as I have, and you've seen, you know, all the different things that have come and like went throughout the process, you can easily become pretty jaded.
Yeah.
You know, I've seen a lot of people just like give it up because, you know, even if they were like getting some kind of success from it, it just became, you know, salty, or, you know, maybe just not as inspired. And yeah, for me, just keeping that same hunger that I had when I was in Goose Creek, South Carolina, and just trying to find a way to, you know, convince people that sneaker photos was a needed thing. You know?
Hey, I mean, this also speaks to just the nature of the show. That was like one of the principles we kind of built it off of. Really, it was the gentleman that I asked you about earlier. If you knew, when I knew him, like I was fresh out of high school. I didn't even know him by his name. I knew him by his username on Nike Talk, right? And so I met him in person. I was like, oh snap! We worked at the same spot, and he was like doing all this stuff, and he was going to all these places. I'm like, yo, if we do this show, we need to speak about the industry outside of just being a hyper consumer. Because it'd be cool to, like, again, it's always cool to get free shit. Always, I'll never knock that. But more so like the industry, how, yo, y'all talk about this stuff, but how can you make $1 from it if you're going to spend this much time and be invested? And I understand doing stuff for the love. I understand the appreciation. Like, I understand
at what
that.
point are you loving too hard? Loving too much? Because too much of anything is going to fry you at some point or another. You know, like I said this one time to Ronnie. I was like, yo, like, he's like, you live in the dream, right? And I said, yeah, but you know, dream can become a nightmare real quick.
For sure.
I don't know if you like that, but you know, it was honesty. And like, I always told him, like, I'm never going to just like say something just to like say it to you. Like, and that's honestly how I try to operate, man. It's like, you got to have authenticity. You have to be able to have a voice of some sort, because if we're all saying the same shit, nothing's going to get accomplished. You know, like, what can you really produce out of an echo chamber other than just a bunch of nonsense? You know, like, it's just noise. So.
That's what I mean, honestly, most discourse has just become noise, tribalism, and just too many people are invested into these things. You know, I love Nike. In my family, I'm the Nike guy. My older brother is a Puma guy. No, he's Adidas. And my dad is a Puma guy.
Nice.
And we all would sit up here, that's fucking hideous. I mean, I remember talking to my dad about Under Armour, and I wanted to push him out my car because he's like, them Currys is not, get the fuck out. But I appreciate the discourse.
Yeah.
We've known each other for 20-something years. I hate most of the things he likes, but I love the conversations that we have because it's an honest conversation. It's not brand loyalty. It's like, no, I like this. Because he's a runner. He's an athlete. I'm a fat guy who just like, put these on for a fit and I'm done. It's just, it's missing. And I'm glad that you, as a part of the industry, can be honest about it. Yeah. And I'm so grateful for you to come on the show. Like, I just wish more people understood it. Not like the whole, would you prefer to cry in a Ferrari? Would you prefer to cry in a Honda? You really got to understand, if you're going to be in a beast, you have to work. And you have to work to get there because it's a lot of love. And then it's like, I'm hungry. I need to be paid. Yeah. You got to get yourself paid first. That's why I'm glad that we can work independently. And when the opportunity comes, we're not doing it for free.
I can't, man. Like, there's just so much that goes into it. There's just not enough. It's really the time.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's the biggest thing, is that the amount of time that it takes to really put together something of worth and of note, it's so valuable. And to then say, oh, well, you can have, this shoe for free, like that's good, right? It's like, if I was 16, maybe, like,
yeah,
nigga, I got bills.
like, right,
Not that you said that, but yeah.
But yeah, I mean, like, we just, and until that becomes more of the conversation, we're like basically crabs in a barrel.
Yeah. I think social media ruined it.
Yeah.
And I'm not one of those guys who's like, before social media, we were all Mensa members. No, I remember being on the forums. I was known for not spelling properly. I still am. I'm an idiot. But I love the discourse about, I like this because I like this. Yeah. And you know what? I use this for real life. We were talking about how we got into cameras. Mm-hmm. My friends got me a Nikon because my man CLG, shout out CLG, he would take the most beautiful, stupid pictures of the South Florida crew. Mm-hmm. So they'd have a meetup, and there's a picture like my man's Jordan was in a tub, sleep. And the picture was so clean, I'm like, I got to get a Nikon. Yeah. And now people are just, well, Nikon sold 35 million of the D830. Give a fuck how many they sold. I'm not getting paid for that. Yeah. I miss the passion. So it feels good to talk about passion every week, to see someone be passionate about photography. And I'm glad when you said I just want to speak freely. Yeah. Because I'm glad that you were able to sit up here and get it off your chest about that Ferrari 14, because that was stupid. Yeah. And it's politics of people. Do you rock with this person? Do you rock with this? Who did it first? Yeah. Dog, this man got a great camera, got a $350,000 car, took pictures, didn't scratch the car on all ends. Yeah, no, dog, I wouldn't have did it.
If that would have happened, I would have just.
I'd have ran.
I wasn't here. But yeah, man. No, I mean, with that Ferrari shoot, it's funny because you get the accolade or the recognition of, even just. This is the best sneaker shoot of the year. Like, that was like how they were posturing that tweet or whatever, and that made me feel great. I was like, wow, like that's it. Like, even at this point, I still feel real good about seeing something like that. And then it's funny how like the roller coaster of it happens. It's like,
oh man, I wonder why I'm getting all these pings. Oh,
of course, this was gonna. That's one thing I will say is like. Anytime I've ever seen some kind of like outwardly like recognition or success, there is surely a wave of just negativity coming from somewhere. Like, and you don't know where it's coming, but it's gonna get you. Like,
well, question, because we discussed the money, we discussed the monetary side of it, where it is necessary at an older age. Yeah. What pushes you now?
My wife is a big player in that. Just
salute to dope wives.
I was about to say, shout out to your wife, guys.
His wife is. I'm working on it. But yeah.
I met his potential future wife. 2 thumbs up. She cool. What the fuck? If she listen, I like you.
But yeah, my wife is definitely the biggest like inspiration for me, in wanting to just, be able to put us in some kind of position, because she already does her fair share and more. So for me, it's like, I gotta match that and like even go further, because it's like we push each other to be better. So she's like definitely number one. Number 2, I would say, and I hate that this is the case, but I still have a chip on my shoulder from back home. Like, I remember a lot of the naysayers saying that you wouldn't be able to, make a livelihood out of this. So it's like that noise in the back of my head is like, it's there still. It's become more faint throughout the years, but I would lie. I'd be sitting here lying and saying, if like, oh, I don't think about like,
nah, fuck them.
It still
Yeah,
has like a little bit of an effect. I don't obsess about that as much as I nearly did at one point because I did get my foot through the door and was able to still do what I've been doing now for about 12 years or so on a professional level, and and I want to buy more Pokemon cards.
See,
That might be the third one.
See,
So, yeah.
See, you went from having the whole Biggie Small story. I remember I was just in front of the store just trying to feed my daughter, taking pictures to.
Listen,
I need a holographic Pikachu.
Yeah, I mean, look, that was me as a kid, when it first came out, and I remember, the joy that it brought me then, and it's a little different now. It doesn't, it's still, like the way the cards are now.
Yeah, I don't give a shit about no Rayquaza.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna hold you.
It don't hit, but the fact that you got to go to Costco with boxing gloves.
God, you've seen some of those videos. I'm like, that. So for me, I will not partake in any of the in real life stuff with that.
It's not worth.
You need whatever you want.
You need some security?
No. I just.
I got you. I'm offering.
I will try online. And
What's up?
And that's all I do. I do online. If I can't hit, then whatever. It's not that big of a deal.
I don't blame you because I hate what it's become. Consumerism has hit every cool thing. Because when I saw Pokemon cards were flipping again, I called my stepdad and I was like, "You remember in '98 when you told me there wasn't shit?" Yeah, motherfucker. You see how much the Charizard go for? And he hit me with, "Devon, do you still have the cards?" No, and he hung up on me.
Smart man.
But
hit me with that dumbass shit.
But what you said about still hearing that voice in the back of the head, because your wife and that one naysayer, because every day I flex, just like I'm flexing on the people. When I was a weird kid, they thought I was going to be a serial killer. They thought I was going to be all kinds of shit. I was really fucking weird. Just for the record, I was weird as shit.
You said was?
Was. I'm more normal now.
Nigga, I know you.
I'm married with a kid. I be in the house like, hey, I'm doing
his favorite
stuff.
His favorite rapper is Charles Hamilton.
The Sonic guy?
Yes.
No, fuck this. This show over. I love Charles Hamilton. He gets me.
He had a couple of records.
Yeah, that's it.
He went crazy. But sometimes you just got to think back to that and just be like, this keep me. I'm fueled by hate. Yeah. Once I learned Alexander the Great flexed on his teachers because he spilled some salt and he's like, when you become the king of spices, you can do that. And he sent them spices. I felt that.
Fire.
Yeah, but it's just like it helps you go. Whatever your motivation is, I love my wife, but I also hate them.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just it's lit being my wife guy because I'm right there with you. Yeah. My wife kicked me in my ass. I was doing pretty good with glasses, and I was talking about doing a jacket for my 10th anniversary because she remembers my store's anniversary more than me. And she called me a pussy. She's like, "So you want to do the jacket, or you just going to talking about it?" "Oh no, babe. You want to do the jacket, or you a pussy?" Yeah. And now I got a jacket. And then last year's jacket. I'm gonna do this. So you scared? You scared now? Yep. So it's amazing to be able to go out here, and especially be able to eat off of your creativity. Yeah. Because Corey from Circulate tweeted someone about, it's like, you're too creative for a 9 to 5. You have no idea how hard it is to make money. Because what is this, year 3 for us?
Yeah, it's getting there.
I think we've made $70 total.
T-shirts.
Off T-shirts. And it is a nightmare to be able to move forward with this. So the fact that you're being reached out to with big brands and with Makeshift, if I'm not mistaken, you have the studio, so you let people rent it, and you also have it for your own shoots.
Nah, I haven't gotten to the point where I don't really like sharing.
I respect it.
I'm not a big sharer. Like, I'm the baby of my family, so I haven't got to a point where I feel like comfortable with the idea of, like, and I know it works because I've been in studios that I got to like rent and whatever. But yeah, no, it's just solely my space right now, and it's this really kind of encapsulates sort of the whole ethos of makeshift too, just like what we're doing right now. Where I think a lot of people think you have to have like this very polished and refined, setup, and like to me, that's not really the important thing. It's more so just doing something and letting like the work speak for itself and continuing to like grow on that body of work. You start somewhere and you just keep rising.
I mean, that's how you end up not going anywhere, thinking it has to be perfect.
Yeah.
When I started my brand, I was using 2 pieces of construction paper and a Nikon Coolpix outside, and I was like, okay, the clouds in the sky.
Yeah.
All right, we gotta wait for another cloud.
Yep.
I've had desk lamps with construction paper. Then I upgraded to a light box. I upgraded my camera. But I was still, like, if you don't start, I mean, you'll never be anything.
Yeah, and there's something to say about things that you won't ever really be able to learn throughout the process of creating if you don't start with like sort of like the bare minimum. And what I've also noticed is whenever you're using what's around you, you end up being a lot more creative because you're having to solve for problems. When I've had some of like the best studios to work out of, I feel like sometimes the work is kind of flat.
Yeah.
Because I'm just like not really using my mind and my brain to like, and that does bleed into the work naturally.
I feel like that's the same way, like with the pod. You know what I mean? Like bro, it took like an hour to set up, right? Yeah. Because a lot of the stuff it's like a hodgepodge of, all right, fuck it. Let me go ahead and get this. Yeah. Let me get this from Amazon. Let me get this from Guitar Center. Let me figure it out, and hopefully this works. Yeah. Right? Yeah. Out the trunk with it, and people fuck with it.
Yeah, for like the first year, we were using one
mic. We use one mic stand.
Yeah. Get close? Yeah. But that's why I wish more people would take from it, because they see your work now.
Yeah.
They see what you started with, and not to do the whole I know your origin story, but to start off with like, look, I got some shoes and I got a camera.
Yeah.
That's all it takes. Because again, when I was starting out, I had my mother's desk. I had my mother's little counter, and I'm like, all right, stack this, and I will make the most interesting pictures. And now that I've gotten comfortable and I've gotten a shooting style, I lost that creativity because I don't have to go here. Yeah. But that's why I love the pod, because I'm like, the mics aren't necessarily set up the right way. We got to make do with this. Fuck it, we'll fix it in post.
Yeah, and what's pretty interesting is some of probably your favorite things, whether it's photography, video, whatever, you name it, the way that the creator got to that point might be so just like bugged out that you'd be like, wait, that's how that was created? Like, what? And, another thing that, and I might get chastised for this, but fuck it, I don't really care. I think that it's very important that a true magician never reveals their secrets. And I say that not because I'm trying to gatekeep, but just because if you knew exactly how a magic trick worked every time,
it's not fun.
It's not.
It's not even magic no more.
Yeah, it's just the thing that somebody did.
We saw your sleeve, bro.
Yeah,
but we need to bring back gatekeeping to an extent.
I agree, because
I don't want to know how you made that picture work.
Yeah.
Because then I'm going to try to copy it. Yeah. I just want to sit up there. How the fuck did he do that?
It takes away from the imagination. And I feel like, oddly enough, as we get more access to, creative tools and to make things easier, people's imagination is just completely, and AI, it's whatever happened to just keeping some of those thoughts in your mind until you wanted to try to maybe create that yourself. Like, I don't really need this like fucking, what do they call it, AI slop? Like,
Yeah.
Like, I don't really care for it.
I feel like a lot of uncreative people force themselves into being uncreative because not that it's easy. Like, I think about, I'm about to get in my nerd bag, Metal Gear Solid 2, when they said that we're drowning in digital trash. I felt that because it's like I can learn so much stuff about things and people that I have no fucking use for. So I try not to learn things about people without learning it from them, or if I need to. Like, I think it'd be rude to come to you and not know your story. And so tell me about your life. Bro, he been in this for a while. I saw you guys on GQ.
Yeah.
They know your story. Yeah. So I appreciate that versus
Salute, man.
Yeah. He humble.
I was kind of like surprised by that in a way, because even when the person reached out, I was like, it's like the whole imposter syndrome.
Yeah, you be like, get the fuck off my phone, man. It's like a prank call.
Like, I thought this was a scam for sure. Like, I thought, like, the whole, you've seen the texts that have been going, I don't know if y'all
we get them. Yes.
It's like, oh, you haven't paid like this toll.
Yeah.
Amount of time, like, if you don't click this link and give us all your information and let us scam you, you're going to jail. It's like, that's what I was thinking. Like, I'm gonna get fucked somehow. I don't know. But, yeah.
Nah, dope people attract dope people, and you dope as shit.
For sure. For sure.
So I appreciate that people are out here seeing the work. I've been very positive, so I gotta start saying some more negative shit. But
how much time you got?
We still got time.
Okay,
but
we could do that too. Well, you could do it. I want to give you the mic. You talk your shit, so I can laugh.
I hate that so many people out here use AI for covers, for art, and all this other stuff. Bro, just make something ugly. Yeah. I am notorious. Like, when we were growing up, on the form I was on, if you fucked with me, I was going to MS Paint.
Bro. Now, you don't understand, right? This nigga... I used to think I ran track and cross country, so I'll be gone for like, I always had 2-a-days, right? Bastard. So I'll come back one day. I forgot what happened the day before, but he was like, I'm gonna fuck with you. I had Mario Paint on Super Nintendo.
Oh, that's fire.
So I'll come back, and he knows, like, I have a very strict schedule. I come back 3 o'clock after I eat lunch.
Yep.
I do my homework. I play Super Nintendo for like an hour.
Yep.
Take a nap. Wake up for study hall. Boom. Get to my point of the day where I turn on the TV to play Super Nintendo. I notice it's on. Davon over in the bed acting like he sleep. This nigga don't never take no midday naps. Ever. Turn on the TV. This man done put on Mario Paint pretty much me with a 8-bit dick just busting on me, right? When I tell you I almost killed this man,
you have no idea how much effort it took with that old ass mouse. But it's like the best work. I love seeing people do shitty Photoshops to take a picture and scan it. I would much rather see a flyer with garbage than AI, because like I've used AI and it's just like it's soulless. It's not fun.
I mean, you're right. It has no like real taste level.
Yeah, because like I unfollowed a guy not too long ago because he was posting a bunch of those Ghibli pictures. I'm like, okay, you know what? You're not an artist. I get it. You're having fun. I'm not going to be the guy. Oh, you're burning the planet. Yeah. But I saw him say, oh, I had to unfollow somebody because she's an artist. And she was saying that, you know, you're doing something. And she charged money for commissions. I'm not paying for that. And I was like, I can't respect that at all.
Yeah, that's an instant.
If you don't think the person's art is worth it, that's cool. But to try to put someone on blast because they make money off of their art.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
Like, bro, this looks like shit. Yeah. I hate that people are afraid to be themselves. I can't draw. I say this all the time. I can't draw. I can't spell. I am not great at many things, but I'm unafraid to go out here and do it. And I'm not afraid to ask for help and pay people for it. Yeah. I think there's a beauty in the amateurness. When you don't understand what you're doing, you can be more honest. Yeah. Because you wouldn't do the things that you did 15 years ago as a creative.
Yeah. I remember fucking shooting with a 105 when I first got to Kith, and I don't know if you're familiar with a 105, but that shit is like, I could probably, you know.
Oh, you had to zoom.
I could read your thoughts with that lens.
God damn.
Because that shit is so
This nigga was CIA.
Yeah, and I looked like a complete psychopath because I would shoot, like, basically, you know, like, New York, the streets they can be narrow sometimes, so, like, especially, like, in the alleys where I was shooting then, and I was basically on, like, one sidewalk across the street shooting the shoe on
This man was in Jersey.
Yeah. It was
taking a picture of Manhattan.
But I, you know, I learned. And, but there's something about those earlier shots that are just, like, so, like, cool to me. Because I'm like, man, there's, like, what idiot would do that, you know?
But there's some magic to it. Because I sit up here and I'm just like, how did I do that shot? Oh, yeah. A girl was coming over, so I just... It's just... It's genuine.
Yeah.
And I wish I could see more of that. I wish people weren't feeling like they need to be polished. The professionals are polished because they've been in the game for so long they understand it. Yeah. You're not professional. Mm-hmm. I don't feel like, honestly, I don't ever want us to be professional. Yeah. I like the fact that we don't have any ties. We aren't sponsored. I mean, if you want to sponsor us, we'll take some free shit. But we no ties. Yeah. You know, Nike, send me some free shoes. I'm still going to call you a dickhead. But the fact that we can come up here every week, we might not even have a docket, and just be friends, make stupid jokes. And the fact that, you know, you listen to it while you're driving is just like, I would turn it off. But the fact that you won't, I'm happy with that.
I like listening to it. It's funny. It's all like stuff I feel like I'm just like chopping it up with friends, you know, and like the honest conversation that would be going on that I don't really see necessarily
in the sneaker space.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's too corporate. And not just with the people, it's just in general. Bro, we too close to these companies. If we could bring back forums, no pictures. I mean, no pictures of people. Yeah. You just got to try to suss out a person like, is this guy really a SB fan or is he a flipper? Mm-hmm. And go back to that, because that was the beauty of it. I did not know how many of my closest friends now, I didn't know how they looked. Yeah. And it's just like, I think I like this guy. 1, 2, 3, skate my face. Yeah. Oh, you're black? I didn't know that. Oh, I thought you were racist. Okay, cool. We can be friends. Now, it's crazy. I can see someone like, oh, okay, 42, lives in the... We know too much about each other. We see too much. It's hard to be honest because, you know, you're playing Keeping Up with the Joneses, and then all these shoes dropping, so people are trying to keep up with everyone. Bro, I'm still chasing shoes that came out when I was 13.
Yeah, I just bought some shocks, some Vince Carter shocks, the BB4.
Woo!
It was
which colorway?
The All-Star color, the gray and red that was like limited to 500 pairs. And I felt like I was like getting away with like highway robbery because they weren't that expensive. And maybe they're not wearable.
I was gonna say, are they intact? Like, you know, the sole is known for sliding off.
But just to have like something that I wanted so bad when I was a kid, like that gave me so much joy. Like,
that's fire.
I think that like, I feel like that's the pocket that I want to really start operating in again, where, you know, I'm putting a light on stuff that, you know, meant a lot to me back then. So like, not to say that, you know, times don't change and like, no, but that's a classic model.
No, I think
that one is like, in my opinion, you know, some people don't love shocks, you know.
Look, man, you talking about stuff like I'm not the biggest fan of shocks, but I can understand that. Yeah, I can definitely understand VCs. Shoot, a lot of the stuff that's coming out now with Nike, we like it, or it appeals to us because it speaks to, you know, yesteryears, you know, that era of shocks, of you know, Hirachi 2K4, of the Alpha Project, like those type of things, like Hyperflights. It's an Alpha Project. Mm-hmm. Those, you know what I mean? Like if people understood just the lore, the time, because them putting out PE colorways clearly ain't gonna do it. Yeah. we didn't seen 12s come and go. Gary Payton, Kevin Martin, PE colorways. All right, cool. But now when you start to create something, oh man, does that look like from when I was in the 7th grade?
Yeah.
Does this look like from when I was flipping the East Bay catalogs? That's what it does for us, man. That shit yanks at heartstrings. So I completely feel you. Yeah. Shit, I met this nigga out on purple hyperflights.
Yeah. Some stuff I'm like, it's probably better if they didn't really like come back out with it, just because it doesn't really make sense for today. But and like some of that stuff, it's like it's better as sort of like a distant memory. So you can kind of just
let it stay in the vault.
But yeah, I go back and forth on that whole topic of should I keep bringing out, like, open up the archive and release every, like, sometimes, like with the Undefeated 4s, I'm fucking thrilled about that. Like, I will buy at least a pair if I can. So.
I mean, I'm happy that they're coming out, but you know me. I like things. I like a cultural aspect to make sense for it. Because I tweeted about it earlier, the Terror Squads. The Terror Squad Forces, the pink pair. When I saw those online, it's just like, oh my God. But it was special at the time because you knew what Terror Squad was. You understood why they were around. Now, Fat Joe about to go to jail for being a criminal.
Oh, it's up.
Yeah, shout out up New York. Y'all going to jail. But
got the Air Diddy's on now.
Jesus Christ. But the fact that if I showed my son a video of Fat Joe licking a pair of Air Forces, Daddy, what's wrong with him? Yeah. But back in the day, you felt strongly about that. You were a sicko who licked them, or you were a sicko who's like, I can't agree with that. Yeah. I think too much of the culture is built around nostalgia. The past is great.
Yeah.
But I want new stories. Like, I'm tired of seeing AMM, Union, Undefeated, all the same places. I think they still make great stuff. I still love Union. Like, I love how original they are. But I didn't like the Better Shop DN8s because it's a DN8. But I'm glad that they're getting a shot, especially with all my Canadian friends. Y'all get fucked on releases. Yeah. So a Canadian-centric release, Make Way getting a shoe. I want to see new collaborators. I want to see new stories.
I'm with you on that for sure.
Yeah.
I think that maybe they relied a little too much on the past. I think it's okay in, like, little small doses here and there, but if that becomes the foundation, I agree. It's like, what are we doing here? We're gonna, again, that's like plateauing, like the space, and eventually that's gonna die.
Yeah, I mean, there is a bit of that where you think, like, you keep on circling back to this golden era, and you be like, yeah, this is when it was the best. Yeah. We can't beat this, like,
because you don't try. Like,
you got to create, like you said, the new story, like that new era, and it's not the easiest thing in the world, because now you're operating with that in the back of your mind of, like, we're trying to create, but back then, that's not how they were. They weren't operating under that. You know what I mean? They were just doing what felt right. Like it worked. And,
we also weren't hit with retros every 5 minutes.
Oh my God! And there used to be maybe like a Dunk SB every maybe once a month.
Yeah, once a month.
Now there's
3 a week.
Yeah, it's like it's too much.
And you don't get a chance to miss stuff. Like, I was glad when they brought the Dunk back in 2022. Yeah. And it's like, oh my God, Dunks are back. And now it's like, all right, I need a chance. I need space. Give me some space. Yeah. I think about Jordans. I didn't get into Jordans until I was 21. I was trying to be different. But I knew that when a Jordan came back, oh my God, 6s are coming back. It was a special event. Now you expect it here, there, and everywhere. If you have the old reliable all the time, you're not going to go for the new thing. I think DN8s may have had a better chance if it wasn't the year of Air Max 95s. I'm going to spend $200 on a DN8, or I'm going to get this whatever 95 people want. Yeah. It's silly to just keep, you rely on the past to the point where you have no future. I like 95s. 95s don't look good on me, but I'm going to buy a 95 before I buy a DN8. especially for retail. Shit, I wish they would have did more for the Air Max Scorpion. I like that shoe.
I love that shoe. I have a very soft spot in my heart for that.
That shoe is fire.
That was the shoe that I got like a billboard from. Like I took pictures. Thank you. I took
Jeez,
pictures
man.
through the gift for Nike, and they threw it up at 34th, and over there, kind of near Madison Square. And yeah, so like for me, that like, and I actually already do like that shoe regardless. I think that it was sort of a missed opportunity there. I don't know. I feel like they could have done a little bit more with it.
For sure.
I know it was super pricey, so I know that turned a lot.
I think it was like what, $250?
Yeah, $250 retail with no history.
I mean, I don't know. I love that shoe just because of the double stacked air zone. I've always been a fan of double stacked air units.
Yeah.
Shout out to the Air Foamposite Pro.
Oh, they had doubles?
Yes, double stacked air units. If you know, you know.
I just know the Air Fear of Gods.
So that too.
Yeah, I mean, Jerry probably hates me directly, but you make a good shoe. Sometimes.
Yeah, that man gonna be making shoes for Asics.
Don't.
The way things is going.
Don't.
That's so crazy, like the whole Adidas thing.
I mean, that was just bad timing on their part.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know who to blame if it was Jerry or them, but 2 years and then you come out with, we got Air Fear of Gods at Homes. You use the same colorway. The clothes were awful.
Yeah.
Yo, shout out to them for getting me cussed out. No, that was awful. Everyone called me fat. They still call me fat. Like my TikTok still blows up from that occasionally. I have fat muted, so I go and look and just like, yeah.
Damn.
Nah, I deserved it. But
Yeah, you're right.
I hope that man can get right because I don't like his clothes. I think it's hyper normal. But the way he taps in the 90s, 80s basketball, because I got my wife some like the Los Angeles Runners and some shorts to go with it. At $60, those shorts are amazing. At $200, nah, not for Adidas.
Yeah.
All right. Well, anything you plan on getting into while you're in the city, man?
I'm here seeing a homie of mine from back home. We just linked up and probably just go around, chill a little bit. Probably want to drop by somewhere. I like that store.
You're right on.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Right
I think it's the
way.
first time I've seen a main store or no. That's I thought we were at the other store.
That's literally where we was at.
It all looks the same to me.
Shut up, man. Shout out, Joe.
Yeah, shout out Joe.
Let's see what else. Anything come out recently?
No.
Great
Other
Fives.
yeah, Grape 5 is supposed to drop, and then the waffle joints, the Air Max. It's like a waffle something. It's like an OG. It's an OG model Nike with an Air Max bubble.
Shit.
The first
the
colorway was
waffle
fire.
joints. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Nobody cared.
Bitch.
It's the one that's like the green and the
Yeah.
orange and all
Is
that
you?
silhouette.
Yeah, it feels almost like they're trying to take some Sakai energy.
Yeah. Like,
Yeah, I can't find the name of it. Yeah, I'll get those on sale. That's a shoe for my wife.
The first colorway was cool. After that, it was like,
a little like
yeah, I'll catch it when I catch it.
yeah. That shoe grew on me a little bit.
But I think
So I was like,
Grape 5s are it.
yeah, I got to get a pair of those just because when the 2006 first retro came out, that was like when they were doing the lifestyle releases, and there was only one lifestyle account in South Carolina, and like we went, and I was able to get a pair, but like, man, like I just always wanted it with the Nike Air, like secretly,
Yes.
you know. And like the quality of that leather for sure was like, but the leather on this pair is pretty good.
Fives just don't. Last time I wore a pair of fives, I bled.
Oh yeah, they used to cut into my heels. Yeah,
I had
like
the Toro pack.
Yeah, we had the Toro pack. We both did. Sold mine for $100. Again, it's like the moment something I like can't wear it, $100. I don't care.
I made my money.
I remember like Old Force cutting into like the back of my like Achilles, like the calf.
Bro.
So fun fact: the first pair of fours I ever put on, Unions.
Really?
Anyways, so is there anything that we need to be on the lookout for from Arab Lincoln?
I'm trying to think. There's not a whole lot that I can talk about at this point, but
So just be on the lookout.
Yeah, just keep your eyes peeled. I'm gonna continue to try to, push
the culture.
Yeah, push the boundaries of
Info in art.
Yeah,
This is art.
What you know me for, and also what you don't know me for. I'm excited about just giving people, like that next journey and like era in my life, because I think it's time. Like it feels like I've just been on some like new energy, and yeah, I'm excited. Yeah.
All right, well, we are going to support you any way we can on that journey, man.
We're gonna tag you.
Yeah.
We're gonna make sure you get the attribution.
Thank you so much. I can't believe it.
We appreciate you, reaching out again. Like we don't know people are fans of the show or even listen to us until they say something. I mean, more of a fan now. You definitely a friend of the show.
Nah, man.
And again, I mean, like you ever need security going and get Pokemon cards, nigga,
Just want to fight Pokemon.
bang my line. I
I
mean,
will 100% contact you.
is there anything?
Oh, final thoughts?
Yeah, we can
Yeah,
do
let's
final
start,
thoughts.
Jones. All right. Of course, the guest goes first. Any final thoughts?
Life is weird, and there are gonna be moments where you feel as if, is it worth it? Am what I doing make any kind of difference out there? And I'm here to tell you that no, I'm kidding. No, you 100% will be able to make something worth a damn if you give a damn. But it's not going to happen overnight. And along the way, there's going to be, a lot of noise that you got to, somehow or another, just like navigate. And, but if you love something, eventually it's going to love you back. But don't expect it to be, don't treat it like a one night stand, or else you're going to be stuck. So, don't sell yourself short either. If you're talented in something and you have the passion to go along with the talent, because I've known a lot of talented people that didn't have the passion. So if you have both, eventually push will come to shove and somebody will recognize it. And then at that point you have to make a decision of, if my foot is in the door, am I going to backpedal or am I going to run through that shit? And I'll be honest with you, there have been times where my foot was in the door and like I thought I was going to get cold feet, because I was just, sometimes that whole imposter syndrome thing can really, play with your mind. But you just got to keep things into perspective and just remember why you're doing it in the first place. Whether it's because of your wife or your kids or, some people that have been talking shit about you back in the day, whatever it is, just keep that in perspective and let that be the driving force to get you to where you want to go. And then, after that, it's like basically reset, and then you find like that next objective and that next goal. And I feel like right now that's sort of where I'm at. But yeah, man, just
Keep pushing.
yeah, it's gonna be okay.
Fuck sneakers, get money.
We on the road, damn it.
Yeah.
Took a little trip. You know what I mean? I didn't push this shit off the table. Yeah. Pull up. We willing to talk. If we rock with you, it's nothing for the Loose Laces Pod to pull up. So we mobile now. This is proof. All right. Thank you for your time. Thank you for, again, reaching out. Shout out to this guy. He drove and he outed us as a gay couple at Chick-fil-A. It's crazy.
Happy Pride Month.
Peace.
Doug bless.